Welcome to Nature's Guardians. I'm Micah Siegel. Each week, I talk with people working to save and help animals around the world. They are nature's guardians, and you can become one too. Today, we have a very special guest. Right in the middle of India is the Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve, where my guest Poonam and Harsh Dhanwaty of the Tiger Research and Conservation Trust in India have had a huge impact on wildlife, the local landscape, and the local economy. I'm excited to learn about this project and what it means for conservation around the world. Welcome to the show, Poonam.
Thank you, Micah.
Thank you.
We're delighted to be here, and it's very nice to see a young, bright lad on the other side of our screen.
I'm looking forward to our conversation, so let's get right into it. Tell me about how your organization started.
It was about maybe 23 years ago that we decided that we need to convert our passion, something like you have, for animals, especially for tigers, and create a more meaningful platform which can be used by more people than just us.
What did you start with?
Our main, so Tadoba Andhari is like a backyard to us. We live 2 hours away from that. We live in Nagpur. So it was easy to adopt the place. It wasn't doing too well back then. But then I said, let's make sure that children like you and even younger than you see tigers here in Tadoba forever and ever.
Tell us the story of how it came together.
Oh, I'll just start with a little bit. India is a very populous country, and there are very few of such places left in India. I think hardly 3% of the landmass which are earmarked as tiger reserves. So when we went to Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve, and when we went, we started visiting it as just to take some pictures and just go around and see wildlife and tigers. The main thing that was worrying us that point of time is that will our children, will our grandchildren, will our generations to come will see it the way we see this place? So that was something which, we had no answer. But then we decided at the helm of it that, okay, let us do something meaningful so that it lasts. And here's what we did. We started.
Yeah, we said, let's catch the poachers. Let's stop people cutting trees. Let us secure the forest. And then automatically tigers will breed there and make it their home.
So what did you do next?
We supported the forest guards that work there and tried to understand the problems of that area, what was threatening the tigers and their prey, what was taking away the forest and stuff. So we worked with the government at every stage, trying to understand, do you need cycles for your guards? Do you need shoes? Do they need training? Do they need some mosquito nets if they stay there? So it started from that.
Also, that we did some research programs at that point of time, which threw a lot of insight into what Tadoba Andhari Tiger Reserve actually was, how the tigers were breeding, where they were going, what were the dynamics of the prey population. So all these things mattered. And when we learned about these things in the research programs, it helped us quite a bit to understand actually what Tadoba was and what potential it had to, be alive in perpetuity.
What were the big transformations?
It really helps, all our work with the local people. It helps to protect the forest. Today, Tadoba is one of the best protected homes for tigers in the world.
Can you show us any of your scars?
Yeah, actually, there's a very small one. I have a little scar here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a little bite here. So that was one of the times, I think it was in 2008. And we managed to rescue wild tiger cubs that were found orphaned without their mom in the forest fringes. So at one time there were 2 of them. They were about 7 months old, which is as big as your Alsatian dog. And we brought them to the zoo here. And then at one time we got 3 small cubs, which were like small cats. So these cats, I was looking after them along with the veterinarian in the zoo. And that's when one of them thought my arm was edible.
So, we want to learn about tigers. So, how many are there and what can we learn about them?
So now the last research shows that we are nearing 3,900 wild tigers in India. But there are a few more. But India is the largest home for the maximum wild tigers in the world. And there are lots of tigers in captivity as well.
Yeah, I've seen one in the zoo.
So where we work, we have about 200 tigers in the wild, in the forest.
What do they eat?
Deers, then there's some antelopes, and there's some wild buffalo called the gaurs. So they keep predating on all these wild animals there. The deer, like we have the cheetal, the sambar, we have the nilgai, which is an antelope, is the largest Asian antelope. And then, of course, the gaurs. Gaurs are big buffaloes, So they're all wild. But sometimes the tigers, they eat domestic cattle also.
I think their favorite is a porcupine because in spite of all the quills and the threat of getting, thorns in their paws, they still go after them. So I bet the porcupine meat is very yummy.
So, what threatens tigers?
One of the largest threats today, as against what was earlier, is that we are losing their habitat. They are losing their place to stay, and forests are getting fragmented because of various reasons. It could be illegal or legal. It could be legal like development. So we have roads, railways, canals, irrigation projects, and illegal could be extraction of timber, which is not so much now, but there's a lot of poaching threats as well. They get poached for their different derivatives.
So, how do you make sure the tigers are healthy?
So, tigers actually can look after themselves. Even if they're injured, they can, repair themselves and get back to good health very soon. But most of the forest, you have to ensure that there is good grass, and so that the deer is healthy and that they get good food. There's a lot of water management, and normally we don't intervene with the health of an animal unless there's a very big injury. In India, our parks are very small. Our forests are not like what you see in Africa. India is highly populated. There's a lot of human population around every park, and people around the park have very small farms, agricultural farms. When I say very small, they're actually small. They could be 1 hectare, 2 acres, very small. So these are marginal farmers, and they don't earn too much. So there's a lot of unemployment, and they may not be financially very well off. So they don't have enough money to fence their farms. So what happens constantly that as you protect an area, say if this is the forest, and when I protect the forest, when the government protects this, there's a lot of breeding, and tigers breed their cats. So every 2 years, they have a litter with 4 cubs, 3 cubs, and there are so many tigers inside. So when they breed and all of them cannot fit here, they tend to move out into the peripheral forest. But around them is a lot of farms. And then even the herbivores, the deer also move out when there's monsoon. So these animals, when they go out, either the tiger will eat the cattle outside, or the deer will go and eat all the crop that is in these marginal farms, especially the wild boar. We have wild boars and they come in gangs and they'll ruin the farms. So we're trying to tell them, and we have succeeded in places where you're saying, convert these farms to forests, so that in essence, the area around the forest also becomes forest.
So basically, we are addressing the livelihood aspect in a different way. The way they were farming, now it is that everybody wants to see a tiger or an animal. a wild animal, and they want to see it nicely, closely, maybe sitting on a platform, on a tree or something like that. So all these experiences these farmers can give them by converting the land into a forest land, so that the flow of these animals which are there, as it is, they are roaming around all these places, so they get to see them. And also it increases to an extent the space for the wild animals to live in. So it works out both ways, and it works out in a way where the locals, the farmers who were farming once upon a time with all this crop depredation and all these other things happening, so they are also happy to get money in a very respectable and nice way. And also the people from urban cities who want to see the tiger and who want to actually experience all these wilderness areas in a slightly different way than to just go and drive in a reserve, they also get to see. So it is a win-win situation both ways.
Where does the money come from?
So that's the biggest challenge, because while people shift from agriculture to tourism and to creating forests, it takes at least 5 years to create a forest or let the plants grow. So till then, we're saying that they can come in and we can build capacity in them as guides or as naturalists and people who can get employment directly from tourism. And as after 5 years, 6 years, as there is forest in their land instead of farms, till then there is some concept of a bridge funding where you give them some amount fixated by the norms of the government per acre, that they would have, had they been farming, they would have earned this much per year. So this is called a bridge funding, which comes from different sources. It could be a corporate fund, or it could come from donations, or it also could come from the tourism money.
So is it sustainable now?
It's on a pilot project and it should be sustainable. But right now it's also difficult to change the mindset of people. A lot and lots of families benefit financially from tourism. Now they are trusting this, that yes, we can move from farming to tourism and see how it works out.
So if they just convert their farms into some tourism sort of business where they have a small homestay, they can economically benefit quite a bit, which already many people are doing it now. It will take a while for a complete turn to be made in this aspect, but for Tadoba at least it has worked out well.
Are you doing anything to attract foreign tourists?
Yeah, actually there are many zones which are outside the reserve, as well as anybody comes, they get to glimpse the tiger inside. Now even outside the reserve there are many game drives, many activities which are not offered in other parks in India, but Tadoba can offer them, because most of these beautiful forested areas where there are tigers, they are outside the park. So I have seen that many foreign tourists are getting attracted to all this adventure. So there's boating, then there's machan, the platform stay in the night, then there's walk with a guide. So all these things are being offered there to attract tourists, and foreign tourists mainly are more attracted because there's a variable activity, there's a lot of things to do there. So all these small activities which have added up, and everybody is now trying to do those things, are attracting a lot of foreign tourists to Tadoba.
Are other people applying your model for conservation to other areas right now?
Yes, other parks are trying to do the same thing what Tadoba is doing, and yes, they are trying to copy the model.
We are also replicating the Tadoba models in the other parks within our state. So we're trying to create like a loop of 3 or 4 areas where people can experience all these activities. And plus, Tadoba model is very replicable. It's not just in India. We've also shared our details with parks overseas where people can use this buffer tourism, which is basically when you involve the local community to participate. in the activities in securing and conservation and ensuring that they get the financial benefits of tourism. So yes, so I think I can say that ecotourism as a conservation tool, which has been beautifully showcased in Tadoba, has been replicated now in other areas.
Okay, sounds like you need a lot more money for this project.
Yes, money is always needed, and because there are a lot of people around us that require support, whether it is the local communities who participate in protection, or it is the staff of the forest, the state forest department as well, that require a lot of equipment and stuff.
It's a alignment of the thought process of conservation actually. So all have to be aligned to a way where everybody thinks of protection. So basically you see everybody needs some benefit out of whatever they are doing ultimately. Like even for the small kids who are staying in the villages, today they are also talking about tigers. And of course the parents who are farming there, so once upon a time they were only afraid that the crops might be eaten by the herbivores which are in the forest, or tiger might walk into the village. So today the process of their thought has now changed from what it was to be afraid of the tiger to like the tiger and love the tiger and ultimately to protect it. So this alignment of thought process requires a lot of effort and a lot of money to be doing all these things what Tadoba is doing today.
So, what are you doing about educating the next generation who are going to be taking care of the forest?
We mentor young people. We give talks to students at universities. We hold camps, and we have volunteers who come and work for us. We have interns who come and work for us. But mostly, we work very closely with the people, with the children in the villages, because finally, it's those kids who will continue living along these forest fringes and coexist with animals. So it's very important for them to understand that conservation is needed, and they are a very important part in this.
I recently learned that India has elephants, rhinos, lions, tigers, leopards, and bears. What else does India have?
Well, India also has cheetahs. So we have imported some cheetahs.
We have cheetahs, we have the crocodile, the mugger, the alligators.
So we have a lot of wildlife.
Yeah,
yes.
we have lots of wildlife.
Yeah.
And lots of these are the predators. We have the wild dogs, which we call the doles, and a large variety of
Wolves.
we have the wolves,
Porcupines, civets,
caracals, different kinds of cat. You missed the snow leopard.
So, do you have a presentation ready for us?
Sure. I have a presentation that I give to the people, the young men and women who work as first responders to conflicts. They are called rapid rescue units. Just in a nutshell, these are our protected areas in India. All the red and green dots is where we have small pockets of forest. And this right in the middle is where we are, the pink square. That's the area where we work. And on the right side, those red map, on the right side, those red areas are the parks where we work. So that's Tadoba Andhari. And it is connected to Umred and Bor through the green satellite imagery. Those are the forested corridors, and that encourages animals to move from one place to the other. So if I zoom in, this is again the satellite imagery of Tadoba. Okay, so it's a small park. It's about 1,800 square kilometers of park, but all the reds that you see. So this is the core, and this is the buffer, and this is about 1,800. And all these reds that you see are villages. So there are no villages inside the core now other than one, but the buffer has a lot of villages, and that's where the conflict is. So our forests look like this. and with a lot of protection, this is what happened. So we have a lot of tigers now, merrily breeding. And this one is a family of 3 cubs and the mother. And then now we also have in Maharashtra, in our state, we also have elephants that have come in. So, yeah, so these are the number of tigers. And this is again the area where we work, all the areas that are connected to each other with a map like this. This is a map made by our colleagues. And conflict leads to this, where people get injured. And initially they used to be taken away in bullock carts to the hospital. But this is also conflict, where you lose animals to different kinds of threats, whether it is an open well or poisoning and things like that. So this is our research paper, and all these dots are areas with GPS locations of where attacks have taken place on people by tigers and leopards over a period of 10 years. So this is how extensive conflict is in where we work. So this is a predicament. Are we too many animals or too many people? And then I go ahead to talk about what exactly is conflict. So is it conflict when tigers come close to villages like this? And here is a very interesting thing. So this, can you see this?
Yes.
This is a tiger, and this is the animal. These are 2 tigers here. They were as big as Alsatian dogs, and these are the 2 tigers that we had rescued. So basically, our landscape looks like this. Here, though all of it looks like forest, but you can see small patches of areas where there are villages interspersed with the forest. And if you go close, this is what it looks like. So the villages are small and they're really just there next to the forest. So if people are living here, they walk in here and there's a risk to attack. So this is why attacks happen. And then they depend on forest for their livelihood. So they take away bamboo to make baskets. And these, like I was telling you, these are the reasons why we are losing forest. So these are the threats again. See, open wells where animals can fall and die. So open grazing, again, this woman who takes them there, she's at risk. So we work with these communities. And if you see this is a very interesting picture. So this is a road that leads to the village. And you see these tiger pug marks?
Mm-hmm.
They are there. So you find tigers walking on the same road where there will be children cycling to school, people going to their fields. So there's a lot of forced coexistence. A lot of people, when the leopard is attacking somebody in the village, a lot of people think if you remove a leopard, it'll help. But it does not, because when you remove one leopard, you immediately find another leopard there. So what are the solutions? How do you actually solve this problem? So this is what we do. We say, take surveys on the ground, gather your data. So this is what we do. Our communities look like this, and we do lots of programs with them to train them about awareness and talk to women like this. This is how our local people look like in their little shacks. We work with children. You are asking us what we do. So these children are probably your age, and we work very closely with them. We go and check all caves, look for tigers and leopards. And this is tourism. So you can see how many people are there eager to take pictures of every single leopard. But then all the money that comes in from tourism actually benefits conservation and the local people. This is a very interesting picture. This picture of 5 cubs is right outside our house at Tadoba. And you can coexist if you know how to. This is our message to people, that when you find animals near villages, animals don't misbehave. This animal was just walking past and just didn't do anything to people. But it is the people who basically don't know how to behave, and that's what we do. We tell people about their code of conduct. Look at this picture. So there's a tiger here, somewhere here. And look at the way people are chasing the tiger. So we work very closely with communities and our first responders here. This is our first responder teams. And this is our team that we work with. This is a part of our team. They work with us. They're all local boys.
And that's you guys on the left there.
Yeah.
That's us.
You look very
Yes.
good.
Thank you.
If it's been so successful, are you exporting tigers to other places?
So there have been episodes where our tigers, the young ones, they've been moved to another forest area and given a new home, though it is maybe close by, maybe 400
Yes.
kilometers here to another park. But yes, that has been done.
They have been translocated.
Translocation.
So, what's your vision for the next 30 years of tigers in India?
Well, in short, I would say that there should be tigers forever. But
Yes, I think
Yeah.
we are doing well. India is focusing a lot on tiger conservation, though it's been a little challenging because of the way our country is developing further. So with more roads and more railroads and fragmentation of forests, we may have challenges with our forested corridors. So dispersal may be a little difficult, but our parks are certainly more safer and more well protected. Maybe instead of dispersing naturally, they may be lifted and shifted, translocated. But yes, tigers are here to stay.
forever. And also it's a national animal, and in religious text and in religious beliefs, it holds a very high esteem, high place.
Yes.
So I think we will have tigers forever. That's what we believe in, and we are struggling to keep it that way.
Congratulations on your success. Very good. You're one of the best conservationists we've contacted yet.
Thank you, and we hope to see you soon
In Tadoba.
Tadoba.
Yeah, and watching a tiger, just
Close by.
close by.
Yes. We're looking forward to having you visit us.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking with me, Poonam and Harsh.
Thank you, Micah. It's been wonderful talking to you. And it is very heartwarming to know that a youngster like you is, so involved and taken this lead to talk about such intensive pet subjects. Yeah.
And also that you're so far away, but yet you're so interested in tigers. That's what makes us so excited about all this.
And thank you for watching. You can help animals by hitting the like button and subscribing to this channel. I'll see you next time on Nature's Guardians. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.